Kahit na mag-hearing pa tayo ng 20 beses, kahit na 20 beses natin imbitahin si Pastor Quiboloy, it is very clear that he has no intention whatsoever of appearing in this committee. Therefore, Mr. Chair, I move to cite for contempt Pastor Quiboloy on the grounds which I have stated. So move, Mr. Chair.
We again humbly appeal for due process in this case, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes,
Iba
Your
ko
Honor.
saying circumstances with regards to Senator Ong. Kasi si Ong dumalo eh. He was not given due process. Etong case ni Pastor Quiboloy, hindi siya dumalo. He disrespect this committee. And
The chair hearing no objections on a unanimous vote. The Honorable Pastor Quiboloy is cited for contempt. So now we proceed.
Mr. Chair,
The Honorable
Point of
Franz
inquiry.
Castro is recognized, ma'am.
if I can remember, Mr. Chair, we asked to summon or invite Pastor Quiboloy. So what's the status of him?
Mr. Chair, I was going to raise that also.
The Honorable
Eh,
Pimentel.
During the last hearing, February 7, if you will recall, most especially those who were present during that hearing, this committee issued a subpoena to Pastor Quiboloy because of his non-appearance on the several invitations that we sent him. And I can see that again, Pastor Quiboloy is a no-show in this hearing. Now, it is very clear under the House rules, especially on rules of governing procedure on inquiries in aid of legislation. Section 11, the committee may punish any person for contempt by a majority of members present, specifically on Section A, refusal without legal excuse to obey summons, and Section E, acting in a disrespectful manner. In this case, although he is not present, but the fact that he has not been appearing in these hearings in this committee just shows that he has no respect for this committee. It just shows that he acts like God, he acts with impunity, he takes this hearing for granted. Ipinagwawalang balahala niya, importante ho siya dito. So in this case, Mr. Chair, kahit na mag-hearing pa tayo ng 20 beses, kahit na 20 beses natin imbitahin si Pastor Quiboloy, it is very clear that he has no intention whatsoever of appearing in this committee. Therefore, Mr. Chair, under House rules, it is our obligation to show these people who take this committee for granted the sanctions that could be meted under our House rules. Therefore, Mr. Chair, I move to cite for contempt Pastor Quiboloy on the grounds which I have stated. So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion by the Honorable Pimentel.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, the Honorable
with the indulgence of the good Congressman Pimentel, with regards to this motion, I have nothing against it, but it's just proper, Mr. Chair, siguro na we might ask the representative of Quiboloy, then we will rule on that particular motion.
Okay, with the request of the Honorable Paduano, the Honorable Pimentel will defer and hold in abeyance.
I yield to the
Yes.
request.
And the Honorable Attorney Topacio, magandang hapon po sa inyo.
Magandang hapon po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. May I be recognized, Your Honor?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, with respect to the motion and with all due respect, we believe we have provided legal justification for the non-presence of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy in our letter to the committee, Your Honor. wherein the gist of it states that uh, based on the previous hearings of this honorable committee, we have an idea of the information being required. And we have stated in this letter, Your Honors, very respectfully, that Pastor Quiboloy for around 4 years now has had no hand whatsoever in the running of SMNI, whose franchise is under consideration, Your Honor. Instead, to show our good faith and our due respect to this honorable committee, and to show that we are not evading the subpoena, Your Honors, we have brought with us 3 persons who are in the best position, more than Pastor Quiboloy, and who have been the ones active since 2022 in the affairs of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, which are the current executive pastor of the KJOC and his top staff, Attorney Eunice Ambrosio and Maria Norfeli Marimon, Your Honors. So with respect to the kingdom, they are the ones who possess the necessary competence to answer whatever questions this honorable committee may throw at them, Your Honors.
Mr. Chair, we understand the explanation of Attorney Topacio, but the fact still remains that Pastor Quiboloy has not appeared in this committee. You are presenting actually 3 persons that you have just mentioned to explain whatever questions or whatever clarifications are needed. As you have stated, they are well versed with regards to the operations of Swara Sug. But the matter at hand, Mr. Chair, I believe, still remains is a non-appearance of Pastor Quiboloy. Of course, Mr. Chair, we will entertain or we will ask questions to your substitute resource persons. But Mr. Chair, I still insist my motion, my earlier motion, I again reiterate, I move to cite for contempt Pastor Quiboloy, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Pimentel. Attorney Topacio.
Your Honor, we will always submit to the discretion of the committee. With just the very respectful and gentle reminder, Your Honors, that in the very recent case of Ong versus Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, the Supreme Court has ruled that before any person is held in contempt of the a house or any committee thereof, he must be given due process, meaning a chance to explain, Your Honor. We are just invoking this right on behalf of Pastor Quiboloy because our Constitution itself states that the rights of persons invited to congressional hearings should be respected, Your Honor. That is all that we ask, Your Honor. Nothing else.
Thank you, Attorney Topacio. Just for the information of everyone, Pastor Quiboloy has been invited as far back as December. Several invitations has been given to him, and he has not appeared, which prompted the Honorable Pimentel to he filed a motion for him to for us to subpoena Pastor Quiboloy because of his non-appearance in previous hearings. So I think as far as due process is concerned, we have complied with it. As a matter of fact, because of his absence, I'm so familiar already with Attorney Mark Tolentino. Okay? And I'm of course the idol of everyone, the guy that invented the rules of the House, the Honorable Rolex Suplico, who is also here, who I used to read in the newspapers when I was in elementary. Okay, and up to now, it's an honor to see him in our hearings. That's why ako po as far as pagiging due process, matter of fact po, marami pong mga katanungan, marami pong hindi masagot, at lagi po sabi hindi na kaya sagutin. No? And which really, I think, mahaba naman po yung proseso na binigay po namin para po sa kanyang pagpunta ko dito. At kami naman po ay kung baka na-extend na ho namin. As a matter of fact, naubos na ho lahat ang mga pwedeng maitanong. Dahil naitanong sa dami pong hearings na hinandak na po ng committee, Attorney Topacio. And this can be, I think, Attorney Suplico would attest to this, no? Na talagang we were very patient at lahat po ng pamaraan ay binigay po namin sa kanila. So, maraming salamat, Attorney Topacio. Wala na po kayong imamanifest. May tanong lang po ko. Alam po, pwede po ba ako magtanong?
Of course, Your
Ako
Honor, you're the chairman.
Siyempre. Kasi pinadala ho namin yung subpoena February 20, no? At ito'y publicized naman. At bakit po sa March 11 lang po kayo nagpadala ng sulat? At nauna po ho ang media kasi tumatawag po sa akin ang media. At ang sabi ko sa kanila, hindi ko po pwede sagutin yan dahil wala po akong natatanggap na sulat. True enough, sinek ko yung records, natanggap lang ho namin yung sulat nyo kahapon, March 11. Tapos may amended letter at March 12 today, humarap po yung isang abogado ninyo. So, why did it take you so long to write us that letter?
Kasi po, hindi po ako involved, Mr. Chair, doon sa previous mga hearings. So, nireview ko pa po yung video ng mga hearings para mapagtanto ko po kung ano yung mga maaring itanong based on the trend. At yun nga po, coupled with the fact that Pastor Quiboloy has been out of the day-to-day or even the general operations of SMNI or Swara Sug, Your Honor, because he has decided to concentrate on purely spiritual matters, ay lumiham po kami. Yung unang liham po kasi, pasensya na po kayo, we meant no disrespect to the committee, Mr. Chair. Kanya lang, noong ibibigay na po namin dito, napansin po namin may typographical errors lang naman po, kaya ni-revise po namin.
Which was received today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Typographical errors lang po ang
So that's why the first letter we received March 11, the second letter we received today
Opo.
at the day of the hearing.
Opo,
Yes.
pero it's basically the same, Your Honor. We did not want to spring any surprise. It's just typographical errors, Your
Yes.
Honor.
Thank you very
We apologize because of the a tight schedule of this representation. We profoundly apologize to the committee and to the chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Before I continue, the chair will recognize the Deputy Speaker, the Honorable David J.J. Suarez. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
The Honorable Franz Pumaren is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Address lang pong question kay Attorney Topacio. I'm quite baffled no, dahil he mentioned that kaya hindi pupunta dahil wala siya dun sa day-to-day activity, yung pagpapatakbo ng SMNI, hindi niya alam. In fact, there are three resource speakers that can answer that. My main question lang here, kung gano'n man pala, may invitation siya, bakit ayaw niyang pumunta? Then let him explain to us kung ano talaga ang role niya dun sa SMNI. And aside from that, probably there are still other questions that can be raised. Yun lang naman ang quite baffling on my part na bakit ayaw niyang pumunta. Na kung confident naman siya na he has no idea how yung SMNI operates day-to-day basis. Yun lang po, Mr. Chairman.
May I respond, Mr. Chair? Actually po, at wag niyo na pong sisihin si Pastor, ako na pong sisihin niyo, Honorable Franz Pumaren, sapagkat ako po yung nagpayo sa kanya. While the details of the advice may be covered by lawyer-client privilege, ako po yung sabi kay Pastor na since ang nakikita ko po sa trend ay tungkol naman sa alleged violations ng prangkisa ng SMNI, ay since wala naman po kayong kinalaman at ang inyong titulo na honorary chairman ay purely honorific as the name suggests, sabi ko upang hindi naman paipakita naman natin na ginagalang po natin yung proseso ng kagalang-galang na committee ito, ay tayo na po magdala ng mga tao na maaaring makasagot dun sa mga yon. Ngayon po, I want to take this opportunity with the kind indulgence of my congressman in Parañaque, the chair. Kung mamarapating nyo lamang naman po, kami po ay magalang na humihiling na baka naman po mga kagalang-galang na kinatawan na bigyan po na naman kami. Kahit konting panahon lang po na magpaliwanag at baka naman po makausap ko rin siya at baka naman po makita niya na baka naman pwede siyang dumating sa susunod. Konting kahit konting pagkakataon lamang po, rest assured that we will be prompt in our response, Mr. Chair and members of the Honorable Committee. In fact, I'm scheduled to meet with him tomorrow, Your Honors, if I may inform this Honorable Committee, and I will advise him accordingly. Honorable Pumaren.
Thank you, Attorney Topacio. Mr. Chairman, just for the record,
Yes.
nakailan invitation na ba tayo kay
Tatlo po.
Pastor? Tatlo.
Tatlong invitation na po tayo. Before we recognize the next interpreter, the chair recognizes the Honorable Arlene Prosas. Welcome, ma'am, to the committee hearing. And who else is here? The Honorable Inodi is here. Welcome to the hearing.
Mr.
sir.
Chair,
The Honorable Pimentel.
we are just prolonging this issue. We know very well that kahit na ano pang sabihin ni Atty. Topacio, he was hired by Pastor Quiboloy as a legal counsel. It's his job to delay this contempt. Alam naman natin, Atty. Topacio, kahit na sa'yo, naniniwala ba kayong sisipot si Pastor Quiboloy? These are just delaying tactics. Even though na mag-hearing na naman tayo next, iba na namang rason ng lila ibibigay. Mag-hearing na naman tayo ikapitong hearing, ibang rason na naman. When will this be concluded? As I've said, Mr. Chair, it is incumbent upon this committee. It is our obligation under the rules that we should cite him for contempt to compel him to appear in this committee, Mr. Chair. Again, on my on my third reiteration, Mr. Chair, my motion still stands.
Thank you.
Just a point of clarification on the statements made by Attorney Topacio. By the way, congratulations on your movie.
Thank you, sir.
You mentioned that you're off to see The Good Pastor tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that confirms that he's still in the Philippines.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. He's not going anywhere, Your Honor.
O, kasi may mga balita na nag-ibang bansa na daw siya at
Ay, hindi po. Magpapakuha po ako ng litrato at ipa-viber ko po sa
Hindi.
mga members ng committee.
I trust you, Attorney Topacio.
Thank you po. I appreciate that, sir.
Yun lang, I just wanted to reiterate, Mr. Chair, we've been having this hearing since December of last year. November of last year. So, long playing album na po ito kasi November, December, January, February, March, I think. This can already be part of the Guinness Book of World Records as one of the longest hearings. This just goes to show the leniency and the patience the Committee on Franchise has afforded to SMNI, to Swara Sug, when it comes to complying with requests that have been forwarded to you. So, on its proper time, Mr. Chair, I would second the motion of Congressman Pimentel.
Thank you, the Honorable
Mr.
Suarez.
Chair.
The Honorable Karaps Paduano, then the Honorable Arlene,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
and the Honorable Franz Castro.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I will not anymore argue with Attorney Topacio with regards to the jurisprudence regards to Senate versus Song. But in the proper time, just in case we can talk about it. And well, in fact, pati na yung balag, pwede natin pag-usapan, no? Balag case. But anyway, Mr. Chairman, ganito lang po. Kasi the legal counsel of Pastor Quiboloy is asking for a reconsideration. Is that correct?
We are asking for time to explain, Your Honor, because as the rules state, the failure to appear must be without legal justification. So we are willing in whatever time allotted to us, Your Honors, so as to obviate any suspicion that this representation is delaying. Actually, ayoko nga pong ma-delay. May lakad po kami ng abroad ng misis ko next week eh. Pero kung kinakailangan po ay isakripisyo po natin yon. Ngunit I also understand the misgivings of the Honorable Johnny Pimentel that indeed these hearings have been going on for quite some time. But ang akin lamang po, Your Honor, is perhaps the committee would rather err on the side of constitutional rights rather than expediency. Yun lang naman po ang aking humble appeal sa chair at saka sa mga miyembro ng committee ito. Salamat po.
Mr. Chairman, actually, question of the appeal of the lawyer. Pwede naman po, pero pwede naman po na lagyan natin ng collatilla that will cite Pastor Quiboloy in contempt. But it will be lifted depending on the cooperation of Pastor Quiboloy, because we have done that for the past several contempt orders. But still, Pastor Quiboloy will be cited in contempt in today's hearing.
We will always bow, as I said, Your Honor, to the discretion of the Honorable Committee, of course, subject to my humble reiteration of our appeal, Your Honor.
Topacio, the chair
Thank you, Your
recognizes,
Honor.
yes, before I call the next interpreter, the chair recognizes the presence of Juan Carlos Arjo Ataide of the First District of Quezon City. Welcome, Kong Ataide, and our Deputy Speaker, Christine Singson Mihan of the Third District of Ilocos Sur. Welcome, ma'am, to this hearing. The Honorable Jude Asidres, the Honorable
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
France and
So,
Honorable Jude.
Di na po natin papakinggan yung yung alibay ni Attorney Topacio. Nasabi na po. Pero marami na pong pronouncement si Pastor Quiboloy in media na hindi talaga siya dadalo sa anumang mga hearings sa Kongreso. So narinig na po natin yun. Kaya tama po ang ating colleague na parang magde-delay na lang yung ginagawa. Tapos mahalaga po yung mga question kasi with the development ngayon, Mr. Chair, di ba? Yung pinapasa niya, yung stake niya sa KOJ kay dating Presidente Duterte. So kailangan nating malaman yun kasi may kinalaman sa ownership, which is our topic nun sa SMNI. Kaya kailangan niya talagang pumunta rito at hindi pwede yung sinasabing tatlo na magsasalita for him. Kaya kailangan niya umapir dito, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
The Honorable Jude Asidre of Tingog Party List.
Mr. Chair, I would tend to agree with Mr. Topacio if this were a Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Unfortunately, this is a committee hearing that centers on the continuance of a privilege of a franchise given to SMNI, and the testimony of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, given being part of the original franchise, is material to the discussion. And I think this is no longer a question of rights, Mr. Chair. This is a question of duty, that by accepting the granted privilege, SMNI is compelled to carry out. That includes Pastor Apollo Quiboloy being one of the grantees in the earlier franchises given to SMNI. And therefore, I will join the Honorable Suarez in seconding the motion of the Honorable Pimentel, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Attorney Topacio.
Maybe in the future. Anyway,
We'll pray on that.
levity aside, Your Honors, with all due respect to the good Congressman Asidre, the ruling of the Supreme Court applies to all hearings, either of the Senate or of the House of Representatives. Secondly, with respect to the point of the good Congresswoman Franz Castro, the same is well taken actually, Your Honors. As in fact, in the case of Senate versus Ermita, the Supreme Court said that the questions and the proposed legislation should be attached to the subpoena. The proposed legislation is already public, so that is out there, Your Honors. But perhaps, Representative Castro, if we could be furnished proposed questions, and if these questions cannot be answered by the three representatives here. And we are invoking this with all due respect, based on the doctrine of Senate versus Ermita. Then we can determine, and then, well, Your Honors, if the legal justification provided by Pastor Quiboloy is not sufficient in the eyes of this committee, then of course it may proceed according to its rules. But in the meantime, again, we apologize for taxing the patience of the committee. We again humbly appeal for due process in this case, Your Honors.
Thank you very much,
Chairman.
the Honorable Karap.
Anyway, binuksan na rin yan ni Attorney Topacio. Anyway,
Yes,
iba
Your Honor.
kasi yung circumstances with regards to Senate and Ong. Kasi si Ong dumalo eh. He was not given due process. Etong case ni Pastor Quiboloy, hindi siya dumalo. He disrespect this committee. And yung question of legal excuse by attending this committee, okay, I will grant it to you, Attorney. I will grant it to you. But hindi ko sinasabi na tama ka. But we can also impose letter F, undue interference. We can impose undue interference, not letter A.
Well, Your Honor, as I said, we will always submit.
And kaya nga kasi you defended it with our colleague here.
Yes,
Ayaw
Your
nga pag-usapan dapat eh. Sabi ko, gusto ko pag-usapan natin sa gilid eh, pati yung balag. kasi you invoke Ong, in which the circumstances is different. Because Ong attended the hearing. Magkaiba yun, Attorney, di ba?
Yes, that's why I
That's why,
raised.
Attorney, ako ayop, we will end this debate with regards to your appeal. Ako nga, sabi ko nga eh,
Opo.
pwede naman yung reconsideration eh.
Opo.
Contempt and lifting of the contempt, it all depends on the actions of Pastor Quiboloy. Di ba? If he cooperates with this committee, then so good. We can lift that, that contempt. But if you will invoke those jurisprudence, wala tayong yun na nga yung Ong eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Iba yung interpretation.
That is why
sa akin.
As I said, Your Honor, we submit always to the discretion of the committee. And there is really no desire on the part of this representation to debate. We're just stating what we feel to be the rights of my client, as it is my duty and obligation as his lawyer, Your Honor. We have no quarrel with the committee. As I've said, the committee will do what it has to do under the rules. We just want to make this humble appeal, Your Honors. That is all. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
And Representative Paduano.
Yes, thank you
Mr.
very
Chair.
much. The Honorable J.J. Suarez is recognized.
Attorney Topacio, can I just ask,
Yes, Your Honor.
why does the good pastor refuse to come?
To be candid, Your Honor, to this committee, he is apprehensive that his rights may not be respected because of the frenzy surrounding the investigation, Your Honor. And besides, Your Honor, he said that if they ask me and I do not know, there are other people who know about the information, then it might be futile for me to appear before the committee.
I think that's the very problem, Attorney Topacio. He's assuming something that has not yet happened. Throughout the whole series of hearings we've had, I think the committee has been handling themselves properly, legally, giving all the resource persons due process. So I don't think any rights would have been violated if he presented himself. Number two, to assume that he does not know the answers to the questions, when in fact he doesn't even know the questions yet, is false to hold on to, because I myself have questions to ask to the good pastor. And I believe the person that he has sent might not be of the position to answer my questions, because they were not present in the SEC documents. Their names were not present in the SEC documents that were submitted to the Committee on Franchise. So how can that obligation be passed on to them? So again, I'm asking, on numerous times that he has been invited, why does he not come?
If I may respond to that, Mr. Chair? May I respond, Mr.
Yes,
Chair?
please, you,
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, Your Honor, that is why precisely we are asking for a general, not a detailed line of questioning, but just the general questions under Ermita, Your Honors. Number two, Your Honors, we agree with the committee, but Your Honors, please, with respect to the points raised, with all due respect, Pastor Marlon Acobo has been mentioned since 1922 in the submissions to the Securities and Exchange Commission, because in the 2022, Your Honors, because as far back as that time, he has been appointed as the new executive pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ with respect to the day-to-day affairs of recent vintage, Your Honor. With respect to the others, Your Honor, there are other officials of Swara Sug and SMNI who are here, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Attorney.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Chair, yes, I think we're treading on very dangerous waters, because this will be setting a precedent to future hearings that will happen in the House. If we allow this, therefore, anytime in the future, when a resource person does not feel the need to present himself, magpapadala na lang ako ng tagapagsalita ko, isubmit nyo na lang muna yung mga tanong ninyo, i-review ko, tapos saka tayo bumalik sa usapan. That's a very dangerous precedent to set, Mr. Chair. Because once we allow that, therefore all committees will allow that. Therefore, all committees will allow resource persons not to present themselves. Therefore, all committees will allow advanced questions to be forwarded to resource persons before coming to the committees. And that destroys the very nature and essence of having committee hearings, where we have to find out and ferret the truth and the information that we need in order for us to come up with the proper decisions to make, Attorney Topacio.
Yes.
So that's just my
sorry.
point, Mr. Chair, no? So tungkol po dun sa sinabi ni Attorney Topacio.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
the Honorable Cite.
Mr. Chair, I would like to inquire lang, in what capacity is Attorney Topacio, with all due respect, Attorney Topacio is addressing the committee? Is he here as counsel to Pastor Apollo Quiboloy or counsel to the KOJ?
Attorney Topacio.
Yes, Honorable Isidre, I'm here as counsel for the Kingdom of Jesus Christ and also as a general counsel of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, Your Honor. Thank you.
Can you please explain when you said I am counsel for KOJC and I'm general counsel for, what is that?
Yes, I will explain, Your Honor.
Yeah, you use the word counsel for one and general counsel for the second, for Pastor Quiboloy.
Yes, I will explain, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
The Kingdom of Jesus Christ is a corporation sole under Section 107 of the revised Corporation Code.
Okay.
So, as a juridical entity, it is entitled to legal representation, which is this representation, Your Honor, in all of the legalities involving the Kingdom of Jesus Christ since not too long ago, Your Honor. Now, with respect to Pastor Quiboloy as an individual, I advise him on general facets of the law, but he has also other counsels with respect to other cases involving him. That is what this representation meant by general legal counsel, Your Honor.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
I made that inquiry, Mr. Chair, because I would like to ask if the rules of the committee allow for legal counsels to speak on behalf of the resource person, Mr. Chair.
That's a good question. May I ask the COMSEC to please provide the rules? But
Chairman.
anyway, the Honorable Karaps is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, under our tradition, we allow, if the chair, the committee allows. No, but well, in fact, as of now, we're discussing with regards to the inquiry in aid of legislation. Now, sabi ko, Attorney Topacio, we're so lenient because this is the first time that you attended this hearing and supposedly you should have taken your oath because speaking for on behalf of the invited resource person.
Yes, I will.
And well, in fact,
Sorry.
and well, in fact, again, if the chairman will not allow you to speak for on behalf of Pastor Quiboloy, you cannot speak. And you cannot, again, again, if you it's a debate, if you want, again, the due process of being here in this committee, eh, sabi ko nga, and under our tradition, our internal rules, we allow lawyers to speak if the chair will allow you to speak.
I totally agree with you, Your Honor.
And second, sabi ko nga, napakalinyan pa nga namin because supposedly before speaking, you should have taken your oath.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
There is
Mr.
no
Chairman.
debate, Your Honor.
Just to clarify the query of
Yes.
our colleague.
I
Thank you.
totally agree. And I am very thankful for this committee for its leniency, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
So,
Mr. Chair.
before we proceed,
We have already discussed this thoroughly. Lumalayo na po tayo eh.
anyway,
Ang motion ko, iba na yung mga tanong, may legal counsel pa. Let us first act on my motion.
yes.
We are already almost 1 hour, but we have not yet acted on my motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pimentel. I just wanted to give everyone a chance to speak before a vote is taken on the motion of contempt. And we just would like to make it clear that, just to show you, Attorney, as we have seen since November, this has always been the atmosphere. We gave everyone the chance to speak, especially on the side of KOGJC, Attorney Mark, Attorney Rolex was given the chance to speak. So, kung airtime lang po ang pag-usapan, mas marami po kayo airtime kesa po, no? At kami po ay, kasi yun ho talaga naging policy. We want to ferret out the truth. Ang problema, may mga tanong talaga na lagi pong sagot sa amin, hindi po kaya sagutin. Kaya po, nag-motion po si Congressman Pimentel. As a matter of fact, just to prove our point, it took me 3 weeks. We gave you 3 weeks for him to appear. We did give you 1 week. We did give you 2 weeks. We gave you more than 3 weeks for him to appear, no? From the time that the last hearing, usually 1 week lang ho yan, pinapa-appear na po namin. Ito ho, 3 linggo ho ang binigay ng committee. And even up to now, you can see ini-entertain po namin kayo, no? Na yun, na lang ho kayo nag-appear. Eh, nandito po at pinapakinggan ho namin yung siya sabi niyo.
Maraming
So,
salamat po.
as far as due process concerned, palagay ko nyo naman, hindi nyo na ho pwedeng, we did not fall short as far as the due process clause is concerned. And on section 13, yes, we were allowing you to speak and counsel is allowed under the rules as long as it's allowed by the committee. At maraming salamat at kayo na hong pangatlong, may tanong lang po pala ako. Kayo po
Yes,
pangatlong
sure.
abogado, Attorney Rolex, Attorney Mark, kayo na po.
Ah,
Kayo po ba'y abogado lang? Hindi po kayo direktor ng KOJC?
Hindi po. Actually, I became the General Counsel, Your Honor, of Pastor Quiboloy back in 2021, if memory serves, Your Honor.
Okay.
So this is not my first time to lawyer for Pastor Quiboloy. And of course, again, Mr. Chair, we are grateful for the opportunity. That's why you still get my vote in 2025.
Thank you very much, Attorney Topacio.
Mr. Chair.
The Honorable
Chair.
Gutierrez is recognized. Before we will have to go on a vote soon, no? I'll just ask
Yes.
Attorney Gutierrez, the proponent of the bill, no?
Yes,
Attorney
Mr.
Gutierrez.
Chair, just to add to the point, no, just for the consideration of the body, because I agree with what Congressman Pimentel mentioned that the contempt order that we are considering could be based on sole absence alone. However, I would just like to add for our consideration as a body that there are still material questions as to 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Correct.
Which I believe would warrant the attendance. Now, his choice not to attend on the presupposed trend that they already know what we would ask, I would have to share my skepticism po, no? Because precisely, as I mentioned, we still have material questions during the duration of his being executive pastor. So something lang po for the body to consider. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, the Honorable Arlene Process.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, isa po kasi ako sa mga nag-request, 'di ba? Na ano, so rejoinder lang po kay sa issue ng contempt. Mr. Chair, huwag tayo pumayag na by substitution. Hindi naman talaga natin ginagawa 'yan, Mr. Chair. It has not been our procedure ng mga nakaraan. Kaya gusto ko lang sabihin, Mr. Chair, no, na itong sulat na pinadala sa committee hinggil sa ating sabina, si Mr. Marlon Acobo, executive pastor daw ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ, ang siyang sasagot. Mr. Chair, nung nag-usap naman tayo last time dito, sinabi natin hindi talaga yon kakayanin sagutin ng mga representatives na pinadala. So, Mr. Chair, again, I will join our DS sa kanyang motion. And Mr. Chair, again, maraming salamat kay Honorable Johnny Pimentel for again motioning for the contempt of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Arlene Brosas. The parliamentary status is that there is a motion by the Honorable Johnny Pimentel, duly seconded by the Honorable J.J. Suarez, the Honorable Jude Asidre, the Honorable Franz Castro, and the Honorable Arlene Brosas, and of course, our Senior Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Don Gonzales. That being the case, there is a motion duly seconded. Any objections? The chair hearing no objections on a unanimous vote, the Honorable Pastor Quiboloy is cited for contempt.